we're going to start off with the questions here. Question number one, Mr. Connolly, this will be for you, 2 minutes. What solutions do you have in mind for combating radical sex ed and CRT guidelines, as well as the State Board of Education? Should the students of Nebraska be protected from political indoctrination by the right and the left, and from kindergarten through high school? And what about the university?
Wow, and I've got 2 minutes for all of that.
I know.
Well, a person can sit around and they can complain and go to meetings and Board of Education, but I've got something else that you can do instead. At the Secretary of State's office, there's a procedure, it's called making an initiative. That's where a citizen can write a law. You turn it in there, it goes to the reviser of statutes. They tell you what's lacking, what you need to tweak on it to make it an official-looking law. You can take it, get it back, form a team of individuals, and take that around and get it signed so that we can make direct action to stop those things. That was actually our most popular initiative. I have 21 different initiatives that we are running with. I was over in Japan, and I was quarantined over in Japan. I've been actually quarantined 4 different times. People around me drop like flies. I tell everyone I must taste bad. The virus doesn't like me. But I got stuck over there for quite a while. While I was there, I recruited almost 1,000 people as volunteers to help with initiatives here in Nebraska. And I've recruited several hundred more since I returned back. We have an initiative. Our most popular one is replacing the Department of Education with a small Office of Education. And the Office of Education, the director will be appointed by the governor and confirmed by the legislature, so it won't be some independent agency that does all kinds of bizarre things like critical race theory, comprehensive sexual education. We also have 2 other, now that one will be an amendment. It has to be to make that change. Then we have 2 others, the banning the comprehensive sexual education and the critical race theory, so that will handle Lincoln and Omaha in case those independent areas try to do it on their own. I just got shown the yellow paddle again. Boy, that time, are you sure your timer goes the same speed with me as it does with everyone else? We have some of the initiatives over there on the table. I don't know if we have the medical freedom and the education one, but we do have some new ones over there. Anyway, I will go ahead and stop at that. There are initiatives out in the field right now.
Okay, Senator Lindstrom, same question to you, sir. Would you like me to read it again, or do you think you have it?
I think I got it.
All right.
All right. Thank you. And as governor, there's no place for any of the things that were listed in that CRT, State Board of Education, do what they're doing. One thing I've been encouraged about as I've traveled the state is engaging with citizens all over the place. And as I've met with certain GOP county officials, what they're telling me on the State Board of Education is we used to have 5 people show up to our meetings, now we have 40. So we have a lot of people engaged, and it's really got people focused on pushing back, not only from the state level, but the federal level. And I have been a senator that has signed on to numerous letters with my fellow colleagues pushing back on CRT and some of the mandates that are happening. But what we can do as citizens, but even more so as the governor, is to work on repealing and getting rid of the State Board of Education. And through that process, because it's in the Constitution, it's not going to be passed within the legislature. It's going to have to be a ballot initiative and a constitutional amendment. And that's where the governor is going to have to step in and really focus on working with the people of the state of Nebraska to get that over the finish line. With CRT, power and money talks in all things. And within the budget, the governor sets his budget, working with the legislature to set their budget. And anytime that the university or the community colleges are stepping out of lines and out of bounds with certain fringe activities and information that they're trying to promote, this is where the governor needs to step in and start to work on changing and light out and veto that money that is going to those institutions to get Nebraska where I think is on course, and not put people against each other in these divisions and divide people. And that's where the governor can step in, working with the people to get a ballot initiative to change the Constitution and eliminate some of these things that are going on.
Okay. Yeah, can I ask the audience, please hold your applause until the answer has been completed by the candidate. Gives them more of their own time. Thank you. Mr. Reitner, would you like me to rephrase the question for you or reread it? Or
Yeah, could you reread it? It's been a couple times. so everybody
Absolutely
remembers.
can. What solutions do you have in mind for combating radical sex education and CRT guidelines, as well as the State Board of Education? Should the students of Nebraska be protected from political indoctrination by the right and the left, and from kindergarten through high school? And what about in university?
All right. So first and foremost, yes, our children, our students, no matter the age, need to be protected from indoctrination from all of our entities in our education system. 100%. First and foremost, or I should say second, I'd like to say that I am a 100% supporter for eliminating the school board and the commissioner, keeping the Department of Education, taking a good hard look at it, and saying, making sure that they're doing unbiased administration. However, a governor does not have the authority to completely cut out the school board. That is outside his authority. So within my authority as governor, what I will do, what I am doing, is working with our legislature today. Politics is about people. It's knowing people, knowing how to work with people, and I know people. We need to be able to do that, work with our legislatures. Perhaps Senator Lindstrom is correct. Maybe it would never pass. There are other options. And it's important to have a governor who's working with the people. As the only candidate, to my knowledge, if anybody else said, speak up. I'm the only candidate that is actively going to our meetings at schools against CRT, against CSC, seeing what they're doing, seeing the complete disregard for the parents who are fighting. I've been waiting in line with hundreds of other parents in these school board districts willing to stand up, to speak, who couldn't even fit inside the building. That's what I've been doing. We start together because the governor has influence. He works with the people. Like that quote from Ronald Reagan, it's about getting the people, leading the people, organizing their efforts, right? Educating them. CSC, CRT, and just about the whole myriad of other topics that we're fighting against. You connect the dots and it goes back to an agenda, a communistic agenda. We need to start talking about this. We need a governor who's loud about this, who works with the people. And as governor, that's what I will be doing. As well as, yes, we can tighten the purse strings with especially our universities. If they're not playing the way they should be playing, yes, every resource that I have available, I will absolutely use. Our schools have been indoctrinating our children for far too long, and that needs to stop, and it's going to stop.
All right. Mrs. Thibodeau, would you like to respond?
Yes, thank you very much. And this very question is one of the very main reasons that I have decided to get into this race. My background is education. I am a mom, and I am one of those mama bears that is really mad and really upset, like a lot of the rest of you mama bears out there, and the upset fathers. Our children are being indoctrinated. They're learning divisiveness. They're being sexualized in our schools, and it has to stop. And yes, do we all up here agree that we need to get rid of the State Board of Education? Of course we do. That's where it started. You have people who aren't even listening to parents. In fact, they have emails stating they didn't want to listen to parents. As your governor, I will make sure that the government isn't a co-parent, that you parents are the parents, not the co-parent. And what can we do until we can get rid of that State Board of Education? The governor can encourage families, moms, dads, grandparents, students to go down to the State Board of Education, to go to your local school board, stay involved, pay attention to what they are teaching your children. And as governor, I will make sure that no FBI agent or Department of Justice comes and arrests you and tries to intimidate you from having your voice heard. Because as governor, you can keep them out of our state. If there are any safety issues, our local sheriffs are more than capable of handling that. And the parents that you are seeing, they're not violent. They're not a threat. They want to be parents. They love their children, and our children are our future, and they are the people that we need to protect the most.
Thank you. I think there's a lot of passion around that subject. That's good.